Hey, Preston, always good to see you here. We got a little few updates we're going to be talking about that Mainline has been hard at work on with these profile pages, and looks like we got a lot of new stuff that's in here, and sounds like a few other things that you said probably going to be coming soon. So I'm excited to hear all about that. I'm just going to turn it over to you right away, and let's dive in and tell me what's going on here.
Yeah, sounds good. So these are the mainline profile pages. And at a high level, what we're trying to do is really deliver transparency to everyone who uses social media and give them a little bit of x-ray vision to see through vanity metrics, right? Large follower counts and huge engagement numbers to really get a sense for what accounts are really higher quality than not. So just take you through the basics of what we have here on the profile page. So this is Solana's profile page, obviously. Pretty much every user account on Twitter has a mainline profile page. So the obvious basics, things like the user description and when they join, and then some kind of like simple charts to have a sense for their follower count growth and how much they're posting and their likes and so on. And these are time series data that we're collecting from Twitter consistently and constantly. So we're able to put together these things. You see right here in the middle are tags. So we're allowing for users to basically meta tag any account. And what that's really nice is putting accounts in different buckets to make it easier to compare them, to compare different stats and different things that they might excel in. For example, it probably is a more worthwhile comparison to compare Solana to other layer ones. At another level, if Solana is crypto, whereas Mark Andreessen is more like an investor. And Elon Musk is, well, who knows what Elon Musk is, but he's obviously a different bucket, right, than Solana. So this tagging system here, we're really excited about because it's going to make it really easy to construct things like leaderboards. So if I'm particularly like an investor and I'm looking for projects and I want to be able to compare kind of apples to apples, I'll be able to use the tagging system here to be able to bucket those, let's say, smaller emerging projects in one bucket versus these established layer ones in another bucket, all in service to suss out and make better sense of what's going on. Any questions so far? Is that making sense?
Yeah. Like I like that tagging feature that's in there now, because it definitely makes sense that you wouldn't necessarily want to, some movie star celebrity probably has a very different kind of profile and followers and everything
Mm-hmm.
like that than a Solana or a VC or different things like that, or a
Yeah,
politician or
exactly.
a journalist. So that's pretty cool. And being able to get through different industries and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's great.
Yeah, and I think this will, I guess I'll use that to segue into this next sort of row of information here. What we have on the left here is our follower audit. So we have a lot of different layers of our follower audit, but at the simple basic level, what we're doing is analyzing all of the followers of, in this case, Solana, to see how many of them are verified users. How many of them have over 100,000 followers themselves? And then on a different side, really being able to understand how many of these are like zero follower accounts that don't seem to really be adding much to the situation, or even how many of them are under 10 followers. So we can use the under 10 and zero numbers as a bit of a proxy for how many inauthentic accounts there are. It's not an exact science, but higher quality accounts tend to have lower numbers there. What you see here, though, here with the overall score is a network quality score. So this is a proprietary scoring system that we put together that really is like x-ray vision for large follower accounts, right? So it really gets a sense for what accounts have a large variance of followers, right? Followers that are both young and old in terms of their account age, and followers that are both quiet and noisy as far as their activity. And the scoring system kind of rewards off authenticity more than anything else. So this score, by the way, is what the tagging system will be highly integrated with. Right now, this is an overall score against every audit that we've done across all of Twitter, including the Elon Musks of the world. Whereas in the layer one scenario, Solana is actually, I believe it's either the top or within the top three in terms of their network quality score for layer ones. So does that make sense so far?
Yeah, definitely. I think that overall score is going to be really crucial with having all those categories in there. Cause I would imagine that I'm just knowing the crypto community, there's a lot more bot action and, different things that people are still doing to try to game the system, where we've seen a lot more of those lower quality scores on there, and just a general state of the industry. And you wouldn't want to compare them outside, because I would assume, just looking at this, like a local business would have a very different follower audit than a video game company versus what we got here, a podcaster or something like that.
Sure. Yeah,
Education, journalism. Yeah, I could see them all being very different types of users and things like that. And you really want to know how they compare to other people in their industry, like apples and oranges, that old cliche.
exactly. And I think segueing from there, one of the most helpful things, at least for us, when we're trying to figure out, okay, what's the sort of overall network quality of these accounts, is taking a look at their top followers. So a quick scroll through here, we're saying, okay, Paris Hilton, Shaq, okay, John Cena, Binance, Mark Cuban, Steve Aoki. So McDonald's, right? I'm sure other people recognize some of the other names there too. Justin's son. So MC Hammer. Oh, that's nice. So it really gives you a sense for, okay, this is probably a legitimate account. On one hand, an account can buy a bunch of bots and a bunch of low quality followers. It's more difficult to get Mark Cuban to follow you, because let's take a look at Mark Cuban here. He has 8.7 million followers, but he's only following 2,000 accounts himself. This is a nice, quick little, I can scroll through here and get a sense for, on the top end, does this account have high quality followers?
Yeah, for sure. And I can see like this Marcus Butler that you have on there, only he's 2.8 million followers, only following 690 people. So I would say that's a pretty strong signal if he's only following less than 1,000 people. And this is one of them, and probably cares about this, very interested in this, and highly engaged in this in some way.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the most interesting things to me is, okay, next year, I wonder what the top 10 or top 20 coins will be. And I would venture to say that several of them will probably be different from the ones that are the top 10 and top 20 today. So being able to use something like this to be able to see layer ones that are emerging but have really high quality followers early versus other layer ones, let's say, which maybe they don't. Maybe they have larger follower accounts, but nobody real high quality following them. So this, in a sense, can be an early indicator of the success of a project or of a layer one, is essentially how much groundswell support do they have with high influence people themselves, that you don't need to ask if the person is high quality or not. Tim Tebow is a real human who obviously has quite a lot of influence. McDonald's, not a real human, but we know McDonald's is a high quality account and a large company and so on. And obviously, if this list was nothing but DM for promo crypto people, that would be much less encouraging than the list that we're looking at here.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense there. And you can start to see there are some big influencers or influential people in the industry, and you can start to see really early on if they're following some of these new projects or not. It's a good indicator that you might want to keep an eye on this project as well. Is that kind of what you're getting at?
Yeah, that's the idea, is being able to understand early, like what emerging projects have real support from real people versus bought and paid for support from bots or the people that make a living off promoting projects.
Yeah. Why do you have the recent tweets in there?
Yeah, so this is just a quick, what have these accounts been up to recently and what have their rough engagement numbers are, just so you don't have to go all the way to Twitter to find out. If you do want to go all the way over to Twitter, you can click view tweet on Twitter and then it takes you over there. But this kind of keeps it easy on the research side to be able to do it relatively quickly without getting lost in the black hole that is Twitter. And then as well
That's
on,
amazing.
yeah,
Like I can't tell you how many times I go onto Twitter to like look someone up, and 30 minutes later, I'm like, oh dang, why did I come on here and didn't? So that's pretty cool. I'll keep my ADD brain
yeah.
being distracted. So I like that.
I feel you, Fran. And then the last thing here is the different mainline maps, which we've covered in other videos before, but give you a bird's eye view of the conversation that's happening on Twitter. This just shows you what maps has this account been seen in, whether it's they used a keyword that one of these maps are built on, or that, usually that they've used the keyword that these maps are built on, or they're mentioned in a post that use the keywords that these maps are built on. So that's a quick overview of the profile page. We're trying to go for a smaller amount of higher impact information, whether you're an investor and you're trying to understand the overall network quality of these different projects, or you're a project and you're trying to understand the overall network quality of the different influencers that you might work with, or other projects that you might want to partner with. And there's some signaling in here that's a little difficult to get in other places. So this is meant to be something that's relatively easy to digest, and also easy to participate in yourself by tagging and creating custom buckets based on those tags. And that's all stuff that's in the works that we'll have future videos on.
Very cool. Yeah. And I know the map sets that we're building here are just a whole nother beast. So we'll have to link to that video. So anybody who wants to take a deeper dive on that. And this next part, I know you software guys are going to really hate me for asking this question, but can you give us a little kind of hint about some of the other things that are going to be coming soon? I know you've been talking with a lot of VCs, trying to understand like the things that they're looking for and the things they want, and we're building a lot of new stuff based on that. So yeah, I know time frames, software, not, but what's on the list right now? What's being worked on here?
Yeah, sure. I think the kind of base premise of it all is just extending this idea of X-ray vision to what on social. Right now, what we've done is create the, sort of network quality, and a lot of the things that you're seeing here is really in service to understanding the sort of top end network quality of these accounts. But that's not the whole story. If Bill Gates follows an account but never engages with that account, does it really matter that much? If Paris Hilton here doesn't actually ever really engage with Solana's posts, does it really matter that much that she's following them? The next thing on the hopper is really understanding the engagement at that deeper level, where when you look at these posts here, on the latest episode of the Solana podcast, and you 20 replies, 37 retweets, 4 quotes, 180 likes. Who were those people? Did Shaq like this post? You know what I mean? How often are you getting high quality accounts engaging with the actual posts? And perhaps more importantly, how often is that engagement coming from inside the followers versus outside the followers? Like, in other words, are they growing their reach over time, or are they only talking within their echo chamber? So this is the next thing on the docket. We have quite a lot of progress with that already. I think for us, it's really just all boiling it down to like simple information that we can share very quick, so people don't, need a PhD in data analysis to understand what's going on here. So that's at least one of the things in the hopper there. I don't know if you want to squeeze me for more, but I think that one is very exciting for people, being able to understand, okay, this engagement is real and growing.
Love to press you for some more features and updates, but yeah, I'll let you off the hook this time, because I think what you just shared there is going to be really cool. A lot of people are going to be really excited about having that kind of information data. And I know like these profile pages are public, kind of not, like you can't really access them right on the site. If someone really wanted to get in there and start checking them out, how can we let them? Like, what, come on, can we give them a little something?
Yeah. If you're interested in being able to get at these profile pages, join our Discord and start chatting with us. We have several different ways to get to these things, up to and including a Chrome extension that when you're on Twitter on a user account, you can click the Chrome extension and it'll take you over to the profile page here. A few other ways to get there, but as you said, not 100% public yet, but would love to have anyone that's interested join in the conversation and start to be able to get at these pages.
That's awesome. Yeah. All right. That's super cool. Yeah. I know that's one thing that's really been liking about you guys with Mainline, is really building in public a bit, really getting a lot of user feedback and things like that to make sure we build out something that people really love, they want to use, that's super helpful. So that's cool. Yeah, definitely join the Discord. We'll have a link for that above, below, wherever you're watching this video in the description, things like that. And I guess like any kind of last things you want to let us know about these profile pages or what's coming up?
I think you really said it there. What we want to do is make sure to deliver the most valuable stuff. So joining the Discord now and getting involved in the conversation is really the best way to make sure that we deliver stuff to the community that's the most useful, whether again, as if you're a project or you're an investor or really whatever your use case is. Most everyone could do for more transparency on social media, pretty much anybody who uses it. We're here to deliver on that promise. If you have some ideas of what you would like to see, then we'd love to hear about them.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, hey, I really appreciate you let me bug you and pull you away from building some of the stuff here. I know you guys are super busy with all of that, and I'll let you get back to work on a few of those things. I know you've got some meetings and stuff like that, but I know the community loves hearing these updates and seeing these different things that we're putting together. So thanks for taking the time and giving us that update today.
Yeah, thank you, Fran. Appreciate all the good questions and happy to talk with the community. That's our whole jam right now.
Absolutely. All right. We'll have more for you guys soon, and just keep following, seeing what we're doing.
Take care, guys.